Leanne. I'm just working on something I don't normally do, and I thought I would make a video about it because I thought maybe you would be interested in the things that I'm finding out, and I kind of wanted to talk about some things. I'm going through my Copic collection. I don't normally use it. My boss offered to make me some Copic containers, 3D printed, so I said yes because I have a lot of Copic markers, and right now they've been downstairs in my old art room, and I haven't really had, I guess, the determination to bring them upstairs. They just kind of stayed down there, and I don't use them very much. I watercolor mostly, so anyways, I haven't been using them, and so I thought this would be a great opportunity to go through my collection, redo my Copic chart, and see if my markers still work. I did do a painting last year, I guess a drawing of a little chickadee, and so I thought that I would like to try doing some more, and I've been really enjoying this year just kind of doing all different mediums, using all the art supplies around my craft room, and that's one of the ones I haven't dove into yet. So I'm doing my Copic chart. I'm going through row by row every color. I found some interesting things I want to share with you, so let's take a look. So this right here is the Copic chart I'm working on. This is my old Copic chart, and this is my new one I've been coloring in. So what I'm doing is going through marker by marker and making sure they all still work. If they need refills, I've been writing it down, but I have noticed quite a difference. So these are the old BVs that I colored in probably like 5 or so years ago, and these are the new ones. And you can see the difference in the color between this column and this column where they should be exactly the same. This top one, I accidentally colored this color in that color, so I just colored it to the side. So that's that color, and then this one is this color, which this one looks so pink and this one's more purple. And then that one and that one are the same. Again, it looks more pink over here. These ones, as you go down darker, it starts to look more like the color it is. This one's still a little more purple. This one was completely toast, and it's been going for a while. But just the difference in these two colors is crazy. This color chart here, my old one, has been downstairs where it's dark. There's not a lot of light. There's a little bit of light, but it's not direct sunlight. So this would just be fading over time on these light colors. When I look through the rest of my Copic chart for what I've colored in right now, I don't really see that much of a difference from the old version to the new version. One other thing I noticed that is not really like a problem or anything, it's just an observation. But my plan for putting the markers into the case is to put the brush nib first, because that's the side that I use. So I want there's a bit of a lean on the case, so I want all of the ink to flow towards the brush end so that it's nice and juicy. So that is marked with this edge here. And to do that, I want all of the Copics to go straight in like this, and I want the side with the text to face up, which means the chisel end is going to be the side that I see sticking out of the case. I want to make sure that the words on the tip of the marker are facing upright so I can read them. Now I noticed I bought a lot of Copic markers when I went to Japan a few years ago. Then I got into watercolors and didn't really use all the ones that I bought as much. So a lot of them are untouched. So what I've noticed is that all the markers that I did buy in Tokyo, I've had to flip the caps around, like pull the, oh, this one's stuck. Pull the lids off and flip them around so they read the right way, because from the factory, I'm guessing they package them where the writing is on this side, and then you have to read it like this. So I've been flipping those around. So that's just an observation, but it's literally, it's been changing, like, I think I went through 30 markers so far, just flipping the ends, because I bought a lot. I bought a lot in Japan. And so here's a look at what I've got done so far, and I've been just writing down, these are the refills I have, and any that I find that are dried up, I'm just putting a list right here. Here's a look at what I have so far. I have found a couple doubles in my collection. So I have like a BV, I guess that's a 000, and then this one's a Y13. So I'm just gonna tuck these up there, but I have 200 markers, and then I have a couple doubles that I haven't counted into the total, but I have a bunch still to go through. I think I'm gonna stop and grab some dinner this is a lot to go through, but I'm enjoying going through my Copic collection, and it's nice to see which ones I have and which ones I don't, which ones I need to clean up, and I'm excited to actually color something. I've sadly run into another issue. I finished my dinner, I came back, I've been going through my chart. I've got a few columns left in my BG column. Everything's been really good, but the first two are just toast. Like, these are not good. If you open your marker and you see white on the nib, that's a spot where there's not as much ink. That's always a scary sign. And when I put this to the paper, it's completely dry. So as I mentioned, when I went to Japan a few years ago, it was like 5 years ago now, I think, I went to Tokyo Hands and I bought a slew of Copic markers. They are so much cheaper there than what I was paying for at the time here in Canada. I have a video about it. It's kind of cringy to watch for me because I filmed it so long ago, but if you want to take a look, I'll put a link in the description and throw up a card. But when I was there, they had every single Copic marker, every single Copic color, every single variation of Copic marker, all the paper types, all the accessories, everything was in stock. There was nothing you couldn't buy that was Copic marker related. So when I was there, I bought these tweezers that are used to pull out the nibs, to change the nibs, and I bought a package of spare nibs. Brush tip, because that's what I use. And so I have one marker. So the color is BV04. This poor marker, I think, was one of the first ones I ever bought. Back on this channel, like when I was making cards and I was coloring stamps, that was a really, I'm letting out secrets that I don't talk about. Not that they're secrets, they're just things that are from like 100 years ago that feel like ancient history, but I've had these Copic markers a long time. So anyways, BV04 was one of my OGs. And when I stopped using my Copics a couple years ago, this one was on the fritz. I bought a refill for it, which is this, which actually doesn't, I can't even see how much is in that. It sounds like it's empty. You can't, I can't tell. I think it's like there's some like lining, there's a thing, a meter, it's kind of transparent, but I think what's happened is it's been sitting like this for so long that some of the ink has stuck to the edge and I can't tell what the line is because there's ink up here and there's ink down here. Anyways, I bought a refill because I knew that this marker was going. The nib was getting really dry, so I knew it was getting empty, and it's one of the ones I used all the time. And I filled it, and I didn't change the nib because the nib was still working enough, so I just re-wet the nib with the refill. I have a video about that too, or at least refilling a Copic for the first time. I'm pretty sure it's probably this one. Anyways, so when I pulled this marker out today, it doesn't work. It's dried out, and I was totally expecting that, and I thought, okay, that's fine. And the nib was crusty, like it had dried up, so I just thought, okay, I'll change it. I pulled out these tweezers. I tried to pull the nib. Look at this thing. It looks horrible. It looks like, it looks like something from Dr. Seuss. Like, is it the Who hats or something? The Who hair or something? I don't know. I can't get it out. It's sticky. So I gotta work on this. I was going to change the nib and refill it, and I can't. And so, I mean, I expected that. I expected that that one would be a problem child marker, and I'm going to try and bring it around because I do have ink to put in it, and I do have a nib to replace, and the barrel's fine. I think it should be fine. Like, why would it be? I don't know. I need to clean it. I'm going to use some rubbing alcohol and clean this up. However, that brings me to my next comment that I want to talk about. So going through my chart, I am only done up into the Y's. Probably, you can see half the chart, maybe just under half. When I went through the, let me see, the BVs, the V's, and the, I guess they're all, yeah, just BV and V. When I went through those two, those are the two categories where I had dry markers. I've went through the R's, the RVs, the YRs, and the Ys, and I've had nothing. They've all been perfect. But the BVs and the V's, like the blue violets and the violets, are the ones I had 5 markers that were dried up. That's kind of interesting. I think it really does have to do with the pigment, the formulation to make that pigment combination or that tint of color, or whatever, that hue. So yeah, so that's kind of interesting. That's an observation. So I mean, if you do have Copic collection, you have some favorite BVs or Vs, you don't have refills, maybe you want to grab some because they might run out quicker than the other colors. So, or dry up, I guess. I don't know. I found that kind of interesting. Also, too, if you want a Copic chart, this is just an old one I had from the original. The originals aren't posted anymore, but I did make my own that I'm actually going to print and redo because this one is messed up. But I have those in my shop. If you want to download them, I will put a link in the description below. It's leannelandart.com or shopleanne.com, goes to the same place. I have them on Etsy as well, but Etsy I have to charge a bit more because of the fees and stuff, so they're cheaper over on my own site. And so if you want to grab a chart, you can pick it up. I also have a bundle on there, so if you use the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pen brush pens, I have that chart, and then I have the Copic chart together, so you can save a bit and get both if you need them. Yay, you guys, I'm done. I finished my chart. I'm done my Copics. Everything is put together. I'm so excited. This looks so good. So I've went in order. I just started down the Copic chart, filling each column, and then I got all the grays on this end. At the bottom, I just have my 100, which is black, and my 0, which is the colorless blender. I had one space left, which worked perfect because I have this one that I got in Japan from Tokyo Hands. This was 300 yen, which is about $3 or less. In American, it's probably like $2.80, $2.60. But this is just a blank one, so you can fill it with your own mixture. And I picked it up, but I've never used it, so I just popped it in that extra space right there that fills up my complete case. I have some space left, so up here I have all of my fluorescents, and then I have 2 extra spaces on this side. And then these 4 here are doubles that I have, not bad. And then I have 6 other spaces to add some more if I want in the future. Up here I have all my refills, so I still have some ink in all of those. Some haven't even been opened. And then I have the colorless blender refill, which I've used this I think once. I've opened it once and that's it. And there's a ton in the bottle, so I've got lots left. And my colorless blender is working great, so that's good to have. I'm very excited about that. So I have my Copic tweezers up here, and then I have, I just have some replacement nibs, but I'll have to buy some more of these because there are a handful that I need to refill. And then just some paper towels and stuff up there, but I think this looks so good, and this looks so nice on my desk. And for what I had in this space before, this sits back more, and so I've got a little bit of extra desk space. I'm super happy about that, and I'm excited to fix up the colors that I still need to revive. I don't have very many. You can see the ones with the yellow labels on the end. We talked about those, and then I talked about these 2. I also came across this one. I think it's B60. Yeah, so that one is B39, and that one I got to put some ink in and get a new nib for, but otherwise everything is really great. Everything else went good. And so I just had some trouble with the BG, the light BGs, this one B, everything else on this side's great, and then the BVs and the Vs like we talked about. I am really happy with how this turned out. So this is my completed chart, and it's not exactly the same as my old one, but it's very close. I just have those missing colors. At the end of it, let me see, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 markers that I lost in the list. That's what they are there. These are the refills I have on hand, but the 8 are the ones that I need to revive. So that's not too bad out of 200-ish markers. I will link this chart, or a chart that I made that's similar to this. It's a similar version, but I made my own version because this one's no longer available. I'll link that in the description below. I also have a series talking about getting started with Copics. It is like, I filmed it like 5 years ago. It's super old, and I don't know if you are interested or you're getting interested into Copics. Maybe it's something you want to check out. I go through different materials and things that you need to be aware of and to get started with Copics. I also have a video, I don't know if I mentioned earlier that when I went shopping in Japan at Tokyo Hands and bought my Copics, so I will put that in the description below as well. I have a few Copic videos, so I hope you enjoy. And let me know if you're coloring with Copics, if you're getting started, or you have a big collection, and maybe what your favorite colors are. I'd be curious to know. And if there's any colors maybe that I don't have that you think are really good and I should check out, let me know about those as well. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up because that always helps. And subscribe if you'd like to be notified when I post more art videos to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.